Welcome back, everybody, to Acadia on Air. Thank you for being with us today. So we got a dear friend with us this, not even morning anymore, this afternoon, Laura Costa.
Repeating offender.
Yes. Laura,
so happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah, for sure.
So we discussed a little bit before the cameras were rolling. What did we talk about? So
you were talking about wearing brands, and I just wanted to tell you a funny story from the weekend with the Spain Argentina final. I was watching it at a restaurant in Friday Harbor. I went to see a friend; she has a place there, and they were giving out raffle tickets to win prizes. We won 2 out of 3 prizes. There was 4 of us at the table, right? And these people were like, "This is rigged. This is like,
how lucky was that table?"
It's like you guys are with FIFA. It was actually so funny, but we won some Michelob Ultra gear. It was cool. It was like nice hat, nice scarf. So yeah, it was just
amazing.
Fun little.
By the way, speaking of FIFA, so who were you rooting for? The final game?
I mean, obviously I was rooting for Italy, but when that was not an option, I was rooting for my favorites, Portugal. Yeah.
And when that wasn't
an option, then I actually was rooting for Spain. So it worked out. Right? It worked out. Yeah.
It's funny. Everybody was saying that Argentina is going to win.
I know.
And I knew all along that Spain is going to win.
I was super on I'm like, I really wanted Spain to win. And I was like, I don't know. I have this feeling Argentina may take it.
And people are going to hate me. As soon as I was talking about Messi, like, last time we had few shorts about Messi, people hated me.
People get fired
I got so much hate because of it. Like, have nothing against Messi. He just wasn't doing much.
That game was like super boring until the last half hour.
They got destroyed in the final.
But what I will say is that goalie on Argentina is incredible.
By the way, he was supposed to get a trophy just by himself. Because if not him, they would get like 10-0.
I don't know that I've ever seen that many goals defended.
I know.
It was crazy.
Martinez, right?
Yeah, Martinez.
Yeah. Oh my God, the guy is amazing. The guy is amazing.
We just couldn't believe it.
And funny enough, Spain's goalie probably needed to go and play some video games or something because they really didn't need it.
Literally 0 shots.
So Argentina was the first team in the history of FIFA that did not have a shot in 90 minutes of the game.
So strange.
120 minutes.
No, in 90. I think after that they had a couple.
They did not get a shot at all the entire game.
That was really wild.
Embarrassing. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
I imagine Ronaldo sitting at home. He's like, thank you, God. I lost, but I didn't look that bad.
It was such a crazy tournament this year.
I was cheering for Argentina, but...
Oh, sorry about that.
Well, I don't really care. It's only because I've been to Argentina.
Sure.
I've been to Spain. So
and this is the thing. I love Spain, right? I've been there, and I remember thinking I would move here. So that was my.
That's a lot of people actually who've been to Spain. They're like, I could live here, like Barcelona specifically.
Yeah. Barcelona is incredible.
I know a lot of people go back, Spanish, Portuguese, go back to Portugal and Spain because they made a certain amount of money here, and the life there is beautiful. And they just go back.
Quick question for you guys. How much money do you think you need to be like,
I don't know, I'm not from there.
You know?
That's a quick question for you guys.
You know what? Okay.
I mean, how much is an apartment in Barcelona? Must be $500,000.
I mean, there's so many options because it depends. It's the same. It's if it's beachfront, if it's, prime location, there's going to be super luxurious options. And there's also very reasonable options, like everything, right?
You wouldn't go all the way back. You wouldn't go back and not get the luxurious options. So.
I don't disagree. But I also think just living in Europe, I mean, listen, I don't have experience with this, so I can't speak from that experience. But I also just feel from visiting these countries that the life is just simpler.
Yeah.
And you just don't need as much. So I feel like it's not the same as here.
Yeah, funny enough, we have a reel on trials right now where we're talking about that life in Europe is like about enjoying life, and it's doing well. People are like, yeah, it is.
I've heard it many times. It's like, unless you have a restaurant or like a bed and breakfast or something like that, you really can't do super well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'd be I'd be good
But
selling.
the sunshine makes life so much better.
Yeah, I agree. It's like I wouldn't need to go there and then just be hustling so hard. I'd be wanting to just have like a super simple.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can imagine myself living in a small kind of village
Yeah.
somewhere in the mountains of Portugal or whatever.
Yeah,
and
off the beaten path.
waking up every morning, going to this family restaurant for this quick shot of espresso, enjoying my life, and yeah, I can see that happening.
and actually living. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually living. And I find that people that live that kind of lifestyle are by far happier than we are here. Hustling 24/7.
I'm gonna tell you, I went to Bali for my 40th birthday. One of the best experiences of my life. 40th.
30th.
Okay. Listen, thank you.
How is it?
I know I don't look 40, but
You don't look 40.
but sometimes I feel it. But thank you. I went.
Let's not talk
I
about
went to.
those
Yeah,
feelings.
that's okay. Hey, I'm not. It is what it is. Aging is part of life. I'm embracing that, right? But when I went for my 40th, it was one of those very overwhelming experiences that I could just feel there. There's such a richness in how the people live and breathe and operate that we just will never know. We'll just
Can I ask you
never know.
a couple of questions about
course.
Bali specifically?
Yeah.
So first of all, it's a very common place for digital nomads.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
you notice that?
Lots of
a lot of
Australians, yeah.
guy. You know what is digital nomads?
No.
It's literally guys who work online.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're working, you're living wherever. But yeah, it is one of those places. It's really accessible to certain areas and really affordable once you're there. Really, really affordable. The flights are long, so it costs money to get there. But then accommodations, food, all of that is like super, super cheap.
So let me see if I understand. You're saying that people are working, let's say Canadian people that work for companies working from home, just moving to Bali
Usually running their own thing, but
okay, I see. Okay,
usually.
entrepreneurs.
But you could, in theory, have a job. It's just very rare to have a remote job where they allow you to work 12 hours away. Like it's
Well,
a problem.
it depends who you work for, right?
Yeah.
That's true. But what I heard is a problem tax-wise, actually, for companies because
There are complications, but if those are your complications.
yeah, fair enough.
Like, for
Honestly-
example, if you're Canadian, they pay you Canadian money and you decide to live in
Yeah.
Bali.
But yeah, it's
If it weren't so far, it would be a place that I would highly consider moving to. It's just the people are so beautiful. They're so spiritual. They are so grateful, like rooted in gratitude every morning, prayers, blessings, like just incredible.
which leads me to my second question. I heard that there are a lot of spiders there. A lot.
I didn't see one spider.
Really?
Not one.
I saw.
And I'm very
How drunk were you?
I'm terrified.
Okay, fair enough.
I wasn't that drunk. I'm terrified. So that would have been something I remembered, and I didn't see any of that. So it was
Okay, nice.
it was good.
Funny enough, where I thought the first time that I would leave, I've been to Aruba twice.
Yep.
But I've been there last time, I think 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And literally, if you walk around Aruba, you see the people, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And everybody's so happy. And everybody.
One happy island.
Yeah, and I was like, again, the first time around when I wasn't educated about Aruba, I'm like, I've been to Cuba, I've been to Mexico, I've been to all those.
Yeah, Aruba's
Nobody's
rich.
happy there. But then I realized that Aruba is a first world country.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have all those issues with
No.
money and all that. And people are so happy. And I was like, maybe I should get a property
Is it also
here.
Pacific or Atlantic?
It's Atlantic.
I don't even
Yeah?
know.
Yeah.
Like Caribbean?
So yeah.
Yeah. It's Caribbean.
Yeah. Atlantic.
See.
So, and I always, because of my ADD, I always mix everything, left
Yeah.
and right, Pacific, Atlantic, and all that. But yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. And I'm like, maybe I should get a property here.
Though, I'm just always so happy when I'm in a place where people they're not earning a lot.
Yeah.
And they're still like that happy.
Yeah.
To me, that's the goal, like that's.
So there is another place like that, but that's for a different reason, Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
They're happy for completely
Russia.
different reasons.
Deep in Russia, Siberia. People
No
extremely
comment.
happy.
No, I mean Jamaica for fine.
We know what he's talking about. Okay.
No, but those Soviet people, they have to keep talking about Russia.
Soviet people are not allowed to express happiness. That's not on the table.
It's true.
You know.
So listen, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Question about, actually, before I ask you that question, we've been on an event together
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago.
So much fun.
So tell me a little bit about that. I had a lot of fun. What
Yeah,
did you think about it?
I thought it was
You were
amazing.
pretty active there.
I was buzzing around. That's
Yeah.
the intention was to connect. So I did that, right? I met a lot of new people. I obviously connected with familiar people that I had known from before. So I thought it was super well executed, didn't you? Like, it was fun. We
It
had
was a
great
lot of fun,
weather.
yes.
The food was on point.
The weather was like
The music was on point. The entertainment, everything was great,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and the time flew like so quickly.
It went by very fast. And it's funny, we thought it was going to be like maybe a little too long, but no,
At the
it
end,
flew.
we found ourselves sitting talking with, I think, was it Matthew from
Matt,
J&J? We were sitting
Oh
there.
yeah, Matt's
So we were
cool.
sitting there and talking, and Michael comes up and he's like, I haven't seen you just in case, but we gotta go. I'm like, couple more minutes?
Yeah,
No, we
when I
gotta
saw
go.
when I saw that we were at the dock and we're like, oh, we gotta disembark now. I'm like, disembark, what, disembark, whatever.
and it was
Yeah.
so nice. It was sunset.
And I thought,
and,
I thought already, It just like
yeah.
that's what happens when you're just chatting, though, right? You're just having convos.
And who was this G2 guy?
Sandro,
So
He's
is he
little-
like a family, or how did he get to that event?
I think he's just known in the Portuguese culture. I think he's just like
So
a
as
very
a- as a-
well-known
Portuguese?
rapper. Yeah, I think he's just like a
So-
well-known entertainer, rapper.
As I understood, his father is pretty famous.
Yeah, his father's the famous one.
He's
but
Sandro Senior.
he's Sandro
G.
original.
Sandro
OG.
G. OG?
I'm just joking.
So Sandro G.
Sandro G.
And then
So
he's
Sandro
Sandro
G2.
G2.
Yeah, following in the footsteps.
And it's funny because he came to talk to us and everything. I'm like, clearly you're not Canadian.
No, he's from Boston.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm from Boston. He's like, why? I'm like, well, G2 is kind of, weren't you good enough to get G? And then he goes, so I joked around. I'm like, weren't you good enough to get G? He's like, yo, G's my father. I'm like, what? So I didn't even know that. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I know.
G's my father. I'm
Did
like,
he get the
Yeah,
joke?
I got
no, he didn't get
I had a bit of a history background education about them, so I knew a little bit. But yeah, no, he's a cool guy. Really
So you
humble,
were
really-
involved in planning, correct? Like
I was helping a little bit with the just behind the scenes stuff so that Michael wasn't so overwhelmed.
Yeah, he was a little bit in the beginning, but then he had a couple of drinks.
Yeah,
and
then
it
he
was okay.
got, no, it was fun. I was so glad to be a part of it. I mean, I'm a big supporter of Avis, the Avis crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun to do that.
So let's talk a little bit real estate.
Let's do it. I'm always down for real estate chat.
So tell us what's going on. How is the market now? What are you overall? Let's start with what.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, I say this, you hear realtors say this, and I say this all the time, and it's the true answer. It depends. Like, the market is performing differently in different areas and in different sort of product types. So, we've had a year of declining values. That's been apparent. I think it's interesting. We have to kind of go back and remember that during COVID, when values, prior to COVID, there was, real estate, it's normal to go up, 3 to 5%, maybe 7%, things like that's a very normal yearly increase for real estate, right? And then we had a time period where people were literally doubling their value in like just a few years. Which when you look back, you have to kind of like wrap your head around it. Was like future value was sucked out of time, and just kind of like everything just accelerated because of so many different factors, immigration, interest rates, whatever, right? So now I think obviously what we're experiencing seems so crazy.
It seems weird, yeah.
But it's actually normal. We kind of have to, like, I feel like it's a bit of a reset or like a balancing that's going on, right? And
But what happened? So my worries, I definitely agree with you. That's what it looks like, and I do see houses starting to go on market and are being sold.
Yeah,
I see in neighborhoods. But what happens then? There was this bubble in the middle. A lot of people are part of this bubble. I was one of them, getting properties and all that. Now, in my case, it's not a problem because I'm looking at the long-term value. So I'm okay. But a lot of the properties that I got went down in value.
Yeah.
So what do you think for people like me? What are we supposed to think about it? Is that okay just to try and wait for a longer term, or what should we do?
I think so. It really depends on, I think everyone's situation and risk tolerance is really different. So I think it's just on you to sort of sit with yourself and just look at all the possible options and decide what's best for you. Are there a lot of people who are in a position where they're forced to sell and they're losing money? Yes. Very unfortunate. But if you're also doing a buy at the same time, like it's also a little bit, it's relative where you're not spending, you're not in a crazy market where you're spending it in multiples for the most part. So you're buying in a similar market where it's not, it doesn't affect you as much, let's say.
So if you don't mind, let's talk numbers for a second,
Sure.
because I'm trying to understand that. So assuming an average house, let's say 5 years ago during COVID, right, would be around, average. Let's talk
1.5.
detach. Yeah, around 1.5, 1.6.
Okay.
From 1.4 to 1.6. Now this house, let's say the 1.6 went down to 1.3.
Yeah.
So people selling that house, if they cannot afford that house now, or can't remortgage, or for whatever reason, losing $300,000. With $300 debt, they would have to downgrade to a house that cost $1 million in order to at least be able to offer that house. So I'm trying to understand how exactly does it work for these people. And so people that can wait long term,
so
they're going to be fine in the next 5 years.
We'll go back, I guess, a little bit, because it depends. I think like where the most opportunity is right now is people who are upsizing or downsizing, and they're
and bought their house before
correct
this peak.
So to me, that's where the most opportunity is for the sellers and the buyers. Even if they bought before the peak, even if they bought during the peak and they are down some money, it's still, if they're in the position where they can buy, it's still, I don't think, the worst case scenario, right?
Oh, you're thinking it's not even the worst case scenario?
No. I think people who are in more serious scenarios, like worst case scenarios, are people who bought pre-construction, cannot close. I think that's probably, those people are at like an actual, physical money loss, and they have nothing, like no mortgage, no equity yet. You know what I mean? Like that kind of situation's much more grave.
Potentially a worse one.
That's potentially
a worse one. A realtor told me some people took out mortgage loans against their primary residence and then went underwater.
Yeah. Because they were hoping that the price will go up and they will sell it. Funny enough, I have a friend. She's a lawyer. Well, they. But for me, she's the head of the family. I'm not going to say names because now I'm in trouble. Anyways, so I have a friend. She's a lawyer. They got 3 properties actually like that from pretty much on paper from the builder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they got in the same kind of trouble. But because she's a lawyer, she's awesome. She was able to find some sections in the contract, and she got out of the contract.
Oh, nice.
She was able to get out of the contract, and she was very lucky.
And those situations, if those are out there, great, because but for the most part, there's even lawsuits happening because people think they can just walk away from their deposits. It's not that simple, right? So it's not great. That situation is a bit of a mess, and that's like the condo market's another beast.
So what happens actually if you walk away from your deposit? There's a penalty. Like what's the?
Well, you're in breach of your contract. So at the end of the day, there's.
So what do you mean? You lost the deposit and goodbye. That's what the deposit.
Well, no, because the builder, like if you can't close, and the builder can't resell and recoup, like then they're at a loss, right? So.
But usually, as I understand, if you cannot close, the builder, if they can't resell, that's a problem. They will not let you go. Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, wow. Wow, it's a hostage situation?
Well, it's not hostage.
wild.
It's you sign a contract, right? You got to be
That's
aware
true,
of. You got to be aware of the risk. That's the thing with pre-construction. It's like if you're not, and no one could have predicted the market, changing the way it changed. But that it's
if I understand correctly, condos took more of a hit than
way more of a hit for sure. Yeah,
Hmm.
and there's many reasons for that too, right? There's many reasons for that. But people who obviously can ride out this time are in a great position if they can ride it out. People who are selling at a loss and maybe downsizing or, buying at a more reasonable cost are probably okay. Or maybe they're switching to renting, also probably okay. It's interesting. It's a very interesting time. It really just depends. There's so many scenarios right now. And there's also areas where, there's still multiple offers happening. I'm like renovated homes. They do tend to still be super desirable. The ones that are, I would say, in that more either first time or move up property price point. So just under $1 million or even up to like 1.5-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Still moving pretty fast in Toronto as long as they're shown really well or they have the renovations done. I think that's just a more.
So is it more important now to like the presentation in terms of like, I guess, staging, photography?
It is the most important part of selling right now is just how you're positioned. And at the end of the day, obviously price is the most important. But if you don't show impeccably, you're just not going to have that good first impression where you're going to get that hopefully.
And how many Philips do you see now? Speaking of that. Because it's all about presentation and...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing it as much just in terms of like people who bought and are selling quickly. Like I feel like that market it's people who have to sell. It's not like
not there
it
anymore.
Doesn't really make sense right now.
Yeah, because whoever flips probably is worried about, what's going to happen in 2 months from now?
Right.
Is it still going to be there or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think again, like it's just remarkable to me sometimes. Like I'll go show properties and they're set up for an offer night presentation, so they're priced low on purpose, wanting to attract offers. But then I go and it's like not cleaned, yards not maintained.
Oh, wow.
There's like weeds past my head.
That's weird.
I just think to myself, like, that's just not
a
strategy.
Is it use your own imagination kind of
It's
thing?
like, it's like
it could be a beautiful house.
Let's set things up properly so that, but anyway, it's okay.
But it's funny. You know what I think? It's kind of psychologically interesting because you know what I would think? As somebody who buys property, I would be like, okay, cheap property.
I can renovate.
I can renovate and resell it or rent it out. And 10 people like me would think about it. And then 10 people like me would put a cheap bid. And that's how
exactly.
war starts.
And it's so interesting because even when I have conversations with sellers, this is something I talk about. It's like, they're like, oh, but this is renovators will buy this. Yes, but renovators are not, they're looking at the bottom line and they're more stringent with their budget because the numbers need to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas an end user, someone who's buying the property for
Young
themselves,
couple, for an example.
they will spend more money. That they will actually extend their budget if it's something they love. So it's just, it's interesting when you understand if your property is not for an end user and it's more for a renovator, people tend to think like it's worth more or whatever, but not necessarily because the renovators need to spend and it's risk. And you know what I mean? There's all that to consider. So
yeah, but also I can see a young couple coming in and they're like, yeah, that's what we can afford. Sounds good. We're going to renovate.
And if they can do things slowly.
Romantic kind of approach to a house. We'll do it slowly.
Yeah.
It's going to take years, but we're going to love it. And all of a sudden another young couple puts a bid and another young couple puts a bid and then you have no choice.
But
you got to raise your...
Another thing I'm finding, I talked about this yesterday too, is, some of these places that need renos, there's two types of homeowners out there. There's like the ones that keep a place clean and maintained, even though it's dated, it's still, you can tell it's like a good house and it's going to be okay. Whereas some places you walk in, maybe some rentals were done, maybe not, but like you could tell it's not very well cleaned, not very well maintained. There's all these little issues. Then you're thinking, what am I going to find when I open up these walls?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know what's going to
Not
happen.
ideal, right? So it's just an important thing to just clean and maintain your property, And I get like for investors, you're obviously not living there day to day. You have renters. It's a little more challenging, but as at the end of the day, that's a business you're running, run it properly, like hire management, hire people to stay on top of that.
There's a lot of slumlords out there.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not ideal.
It's like they would buy that. And it happens to me as well when I get a property and I would get my trades to look at things. And I'm like, well, I wonder what's behind this. Max, you're going to rent it out. Just don't open it up and don't check. Less you know, better you sleep. And I'm like, no, dude, we got some things we got to look into.
100%.
But I can imagine a lot of people wouldn't. A lot of people just, yeah.
Can I ask you guys, like so bear with me for a second.
No,
when you buy a used car, okay, there are certain signs you can find.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if 3 tires are the same and 1 tire is a different brand, you can tell it was ran on a tight budget. You should probably stay away from that. Okay, are there signs like that when you buy properties?
For sure.
What would you look for?
There's lots of things. There's like the way baseboards or transitions are finished. Just the way something's painted. Like people don't even bother to take plates off the wall. They just like paint over it. Like these are minor. You think it's minor, but then you think like there's no standard during the process. So what was overlooked, right?
Mm-hmm.
But those are just, I'm sure you see way more too, right?
Windows. When you don't replace the whole windows in the house and just 1 or 2 windows, you clearly know that there was very big damage
yes.
around that area. When bathrooms are partially renovated.
Yeah. Those are like those are kind of bigger signs, I feel like, too, right?
Tons of silicone around the toilets or the tab just to cover the mold. That happens a lot.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So you would see a very thick bead of silicone around the tab just to cover the mold. Doors that are not fully replaced for some reason. You're like, okay, they were trying to make it look like on the first floor only or something like that. Yeah, there's a lot.
So partial fixes, basically.
Or you would see, for an example, old 70s or 80s from last century kind of paint, and this one bedroom is very nice. I call it OC27. That's like
color.
the new style color that everybody go for.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you see this earth tone in this one bedroom. I'm like, something.
27.
So it's an earth tone beige color.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That everybody go for.
It's like that
I don't know
classic.
if they still go for, but yeah, when you see a house on sale, you would see the whole house going to be
Close
painted.
to this color?
Kind of, yes. By the way, yeah,
like
kind
a
of
creamy,
like
like a
Yeah, okay.
So when you see one,
Archie really wants to paint the picture in his head. I love it.
detailed, my friend. But yeah, when you see the second floor painted and the first floor not, or all that, yes.
Or my nightmare is when you see like tiles not lined up properly and the grout not done properly. I just can't. My brother's a tiler, so I just know how anal he is. And I'm just like, who allowed this?
Another one, tiles on the second floor after walls were removed. You come into a renovated house where they removed load-bearing walls, and you see tiles on the second floor, the grout starts cracking. And you're like, ooh, that's a structural hazard. That's an, the beam is just under, not taking the loads right. So yeah, I've seen all those on, I'm looking at those on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I have a client who they wanted to sell a house. They still live in the house, so it's all good. But they wanted to sell their house. And before calling us in, he removed load-bearing wall in the kitchen, put a beam in. Luckily, he's an older person, so it took him a while.
Okay.
By the time he wanted to sell the house, he realized that on the second floor, there was a gap of 2 inches between the baseboard and the floor.
Oh, wow.
The floor just sank. Literally, the floor just sank. And we had to come in and we had to jack the floor and remove the beam, put in a new beam that actually, because you bring a contractor, which, by the way, every contractor argues with me all the time, every trade. Yeah, Max, 3 2x8 beams, a 3 2x8 piece of lumber would be enough. No, it's not. You need a steel beam. Oh, Max, you're over-engineering. No, I'm not. You need a steel beam. So this is the kind of situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, sky's the limit. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
There's a lot more.
There's
Do people
lots.
still use a lot of inspectors while
Oh yeah.
looking at properties?
Oh yeah. Inspections are back full force now.
Would you say they actually know now what they're talking about, or still problematic?
I think they inspect to the point that they can inspect. Like at the end of the day, it's actually, I think, challenging to, you can see things with the naked eye for sure, but then there's lots you can't. And I think it'll depend on experience and how many homes they've seen, like with issues, without issues. And I feel like all of that plays a part.
It's like I find it so funny every time. Like I would go with a client of mine that they would want to get a house. They're closing a house and they would get an inspector and me in at the same time. Mm-hmm. And clearly I would look at those cracks, if there are cracks or whatever is going on to understand what we're doing. And the inspector would be like I would see a big crack in the tile grout or whatever, and you realize that something was done incorrect, and the inspector would be like, yeah, I think you don't have enough insulation in the walls. Or yeah, I think this pipe needs to be fixed. And I'm like, dude,
I think
there are a lot more issues here.
It goes a long way. Unfortunately, you guys can't be inspectors because you're too busy, but it goes a long way when you have that kind of experience of from the ground up, like how homes are actually built.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
But the problem is you bring somebody like me, well, I'm actually, unfortunately, swimming in a different league because I'm a consultant and a builder. Mm-hmm. So if I would come in, I would come in as a consultant, not as a builder to review. But you wouldn't want to bring a contractor for inspection. And the reason is because, unfortunately, let's be real, we all have a bias. The idea is to get work.
That's true.
If the contractor is not decent and it's not a good contractor or a really good friend that you can trust, you're in trouble.
I mean, that goes for every professional, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, but you see, an inspector will not come in to do the construction for you.
Sure.
And doesn't have personal interest in making more money of you.
Right.
A contractor will come in, for an example, would see, a small crack in the foundation where you can, when you can get, let's plug in, Aquastop to quickly figure out the outside and fix it versus, oh my God, you need to remove half of the wall now. You need to fix all your foundation. That's going to cost you $100 million. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that kind of situation. An inspector will not do that. But on the other hand, unfortunately, I find that inspectors are very good at those little things like you need to clean the vent. Yeah. When the whole vent is not per code. Right? Because they'll be like, it's dirty. Okay, but then per code, you need a different vent completely. So,
they charge a flat fee? Like they just come in, charge a flat fee?
Yeah, typically. Inspection? Yeah, it's typically a fee for, depending on the size of home and all that kind of thing, yeah.
I mean, you'd think a good inspector would be curious about how things work. But that's probably right.
Yeah.
It's funny. A lot of people saying that if you hear real estates saying that the market is getting great and better, that means the market is not getting great and better. They want to sell.
It's interesting.
And the other way around. If you hear real estate saying that the market is bad and you should wait and everything, that means that the market is going to get better now.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that perception is reality, right? I think that different agents are experiencing different things. It's like, I heard Eddie talk about this on one of your clips. It's like you talk to 2 or 3 people in the same industry and they're all having different experiences. Why? Because one of them is pivoting and their business is, maybe they have more experience. Maybe they're used to changing fluctuations, whatever, and they're making things work and they're still really busy. The other person's blaming outside circumstances. They're blaming the market. They're blaming the economy. They're blaming interest rates, whatever, right? So I think like different people who you talk to will tell you different things, and it just has to do with their experience. For me, I mean, I didn't have as busy as a first half of the year that I normally have, but now I can tell like my second half is crazy. It was never like I was worried. I just know that this is how things go. There's ebbs and flows, right? But I did different things to stay busy. I like doubled down on connecting with people and making sure my clients were like super taken care of and informed and all of that. So, you know, I also just made sure I had different systems in place, like started hiring some help and having like a little more stability and like the back end stuff. So yeah, there's things you just need to do to keep things moving in your business. So I think, depending on who you're hearing things from, it'll just be a different perception.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about
the business
part.
Being a real estate.
The business of being a real estate.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me, what does it take? You said
you said this the last time we were here. It takes a bit of your soul. Renovations take a bit of your soul. Yeah. Owning a business takes a bit of your soul. It's a lot.
So what do you do since the market is changing?
Yeah.
And we can talk about the same thing when it comes to AI or other aspects. The market is changing and the requirement, not the requirement, but people anticipate you to be there 24/7 all the time, to know everything as fast as possible. Nobody has patience to wait for anything. So how do you improve? What do you do when it comes to real estate?
Yeah, I think so.
To get that done?
For me, number one is I've always invested in myself. So I think that's number one. I will always be really big on personal development, personal growth, because I think that keeps me mentally as stable as I can be. And I think that's like the first foundational piece.
100%.
That's great. Yeah.
Thank you. And then next is also investing in myself in terms of the training, the knowledge, like knowing what I need to know to just keep my finger on the pulse at all times, because then I can inform people correctly as well. But in terms of pivoting and, you know, making sure business gets easier to manage and not harder is really hiring help and outsourcing. So like my admin and my back end stuff is I'm not as hands-on at all anymore.
Beautiful. That's amazing. That gives you more time to meet people.
It's very hard. But yeah, like really what I need to focus on is being face-to-face and negotiating. Like that's
100%.
That's my job. Like meeting people, negotiating, connecting with people, putting deals together, right? Like that's my job.
So the kind of help that you are having right now, what's the kind of help? What is that for?
It's any sort of like database management. So any automations that happen behind the scenes so that my clients are receiving things, that's being taken care of.
When you say automations, you actually talk about AI using some people or what kind of automation? Or people that would do things on your behalf?
Well, the people are doing things, but if they're using AI, they probably are. That's great too. But yeah, it has to do with just more so things that are where I don't need to be on top of it is being managed. So for instance, creating some sort of monthly newsletter that gets sent out, or putting together some research that I need for a presentation that, you know, once I have it, I can analyze it and then come to my, you know, sort of evaluation, but the data is being like pulled, let's say, right? I don't know, just things like that. There's just so much behind the scenes. Paperwork, I'm still involved in paperwork because I feel like sometimes it needs to be just like time sensitive. And so I just like do it fast, but paperwork, for instance, too, right? So
do you have clients that would call you for different purposes? Like, for example, they would need to get an agricultural land and they would want to change the use of the land.
So, I mean, I don't really have clients like that, but definitely, but I understand it because. So
what about clients that would come to you and ask you, oh, can we get 4 apartments here?
Right. Okay. So yeah, that's something. So that's something
because I have advice for you.
Yeah, no. So for sure. I mean, I think for me, I'm very much, even if I don't know an answer to something right away, I'll investigate and
you can call me and ask.
Yeah, and of course I'll use my network of the people who have that experience and knowledge, and that's why I think being so well connected is really, really important, especially in real estate. It's just you need to know someone for everything, and I feel like I have a very good network.
So
So yeah, I would literally just turn to the experts and be like, this is the situation. Like, what's the first step?
So I think that I'm kind of starting to work on right now, because I am the expert when it comes to that kind of question. But again, it's not a secret, and I suggest it to everybody. I would suggest it to everybody. I actually think every real estate should have a bot. And by bot, I mean an agent that would be able to pull out zoning bylaws. Where you can ask, and this is something that is very simple and easy to build, but you can pretty much ask and have any question when it comes to any property.
Yeah.
So if you have a client that asks you, oh, can we have a secondary unit here? Or how many parkings can we have? Or, can we have an apartment building here or rooming house or all that? It's so simple. And since you're saying that your help might use AI or whatever they're doing, definitely suggest them to create one of those. Because pretty much our days you can pull out zoning bylaws from every municipality into pretty much an AI agent.
Right.
It's on their website?
It's all online. It's all free online.
No, it is.
Zoning
It is
bylaws
online.
are
It's
for
just
every
to
municipality.
navigate it in the past has been very difficult, right?
And I find that a lot of real estates are asking me that question.
Yeah.
Which I have no problem, and I'm helping, and easy, anytime. But I find that it just gives you more power.
Absolutely.
To kind of control the information.
Yeah.
And not to need to, like, I got a couple of real estate, they call me friends, that they call me all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be in the office, I'll check it out. Or I'll go online, I'll check it out. Probably I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah.
This way is just, you go to AI and you're like, oh, can you tell me if I can have a fourplex in this and that area of the city of Toronto?
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. And but I think, again, just going back to your original question, is part of being a really good professional is having other professionals at your fingertips, right? That you refer to.
So that's 100%. Right? People like your network and everything.
This is good.
But I also find that people find very powerful. If they have this one person that has all the solutions, that's very powerful, and they keep talking to this person. They keep referring to this one person. And so this is just simple. That's another tool that you can have to kind of control the
it would be good
conversation
if
the conversation.
If the cities had some kind of unified system, because I'm thinking
they don't.
They don't. So but they update the code sometimes.
Yeah.
No. So it's not the code. Code is a different thing. You got building code and you got zoning bylaws. She has clearly. She doesn't need code because code you need for building permits in order to build, which is a different story.
Bylaws.
But zoning bylaws, this is something that if I'm a developer and I want to get a land, clearly I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah.
And if I'm talking to you, I kind of hope to get the answer.
Yeah, for sure.
And if I don't, while you get the answer, I'll talk to somebody else as well, because I'm the kind of person, I'm going to call 10 people.
Yeah.
And the one that answers next time, I'm going to call them.
Sure.
That's what I find. That's what I find the most. But if you tell them, oh, I'll let you know in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's so simple.
Good to know.
So there is a tool, by the way, one of my employees showed me. It's called...
ChatGPT.
No. By the way...
That's old now.
By the way, do not use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the worst of...
That's old now.
So let me tell you, before I tell you about this tool, let me tell you a funny story. Friday, I had a meeting for the company.
Okay.
This one little thing, Mr. ChatGPT or Mrs. Chat, whatever it is, because of this thing, I had a full meeting of an hour. So I was in the office, and there's one application of a friend of mine that I did the permits, I did the drawings myself specifically. He asked me to handle it specifically. I said, no problem. So I had a comment coming in from the city of Vaughan for him. I looked into the comment, and it says, based on this and that section, we have an issue. Now, this section changed. So I checked from previous codes, I checked the section, and Google told me that this section is about emergency lights. Okay. Now, I went to ChatGPT, and because I'm the kind of person that likes to make sure that whoever I talk to understand 100% what I'm talking about, I asked ChatGPT, what is section 3.7 point, whatever it was, is about? I get an answer like this long, like this, with all the confidence in the world about escape routes.
Okay.
So ChatGPT decided that this section is about fire exits and escape routes.
Okay.
I didn't even read all that. I saw that everything is about fire exits, and I go, isn't that section about emergency lights?
And then it was like,
Max.
oh.
Oh, yeah, Max, I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
Yes, you're right.
I was hallucinating. I shouldn't have said that.
I was hallucinating.
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. I should have checked before giving you an answer. Those are the words. And again, gives me a full spiel about emergency lights now.
I mean, I definitely see the value in this AI, but it is frustrating that people rely on it fully and don't still, at the end of the day, it's technology. And there's error, just like human error is possible, right? It's the same thing. So
I called everybody in the company, everybody, and I'm like, guys, we're having a meeting. I opened it on a big screen. I showed them the answer because that was funny. Sorry, I was hallucinating.
That was funny.
It was so funny. I showed the answer and I'm like, okay, just for you to know, the tool that I told you about, I'm creating that for my company and other tools. And I said, don't ever trust those tools 100%.
Yeah, you still need to cross-reference
when you
check.
get your answer, cross-reference. Like, of course, I'm bidding tools based on Claude, not on ChatGPT. Okay, thank you. But I'm like, still cross it with ChatGPT.
Is ahead of the game.
Still cross it with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Still cross it with Google.
Yeah.
And make sure that the answer is the same. If one of the answer is not the same,
then
you got to start
go back.
asking questions. Yeah. But yeah, ChatGPT is very bad. And back to this tool. So apparently after all that, I'm like, I'm going to build this zoning tool that we just hired a guy that started working on it and all that. And then one of my new employees, like a guy who started working, the guy I was telling you about last week, the guy's like, oh, Max, there is a tool in Google for free. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, do you have a Google account? I'm like, yes, I do. It's called something bookmark NT or something like that.
Okay.
So, and if you can, after that, watch that and put the actual name. I'll show that to you.
That sounds
because that's an
Notebook
amazing
LM, but that
Notebook LM, yes, Notebook LM.
Oh, Notebook LM.
Notebook LM.
Yes.
It was made for books.
Yes.
But what it did, he uploaded the building code into it. Mm-hmm. And what happens is it gives you answers not based on assumptions and anything, based on the actual text you upload to it.
Yeah.
So you can upload, you know what? Don't build a tool. Use that. You can upload Toronto zoning bylaws fully. And by the way, it has like different sections. It can be Toronto, Markham, Brampton, Mississauga, whatever township you want to upload. Mm-hmm. And you pretty much ask the same question. Can you do a fourplex in this and that area?
Right.
And it will give you the full zoning bylaws. I was stunned.
That's so funny you just said it, because as we were talking about ChatGPT, I was like in my head, I'm like, I have a solution for you. In Claude, you can do it. In Claude, you download the files, you put it in a folder, and Claude co-work.
But I'm so ahead, eh?
work from this folder, and it will only read the files in that folder.
Yeah, so it's the
and
same
it will
kind of
not
thing.
make mistakes because that's all the information. It's not going to search the internet.
Right.
So see, I'm paying a guy who doesn't tell me that per se, but does that in 5 minutes and gets paid big bucks to fool me like that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, we hired an AI manager that's
good.
That does pretty much, because I want to be ahead of the information.
His name is Claude.
Claudia.
Claude.
No, his name is actually Forrest. Forrest Gump.
Oh my gosh. No, yeah, we have to use it as needed.
I just recently started using Claude Cowork and Code, and yeah, it's like, but you have to see it as a tool, not
exactly.
You have
exactly.
The creativity still comes from here. You can't tell it like make it happen. It's not going to do it.
100%.
Yeah.
It's taking your everything and then just
Exactly.
doing it a little more quickly than you would do it yourself, right? But I find it funny when it's like those comparisons of AI will replace agents, and I'm like,
So you know what's funnier? There's a tool online.
Yeah.
So you know how people now write everything, all their emails using ChatGPT and all that?
Yeah.
There's a checker for that. Good and bad.
Yeah.
So my daughter showed that to me.
Oh my goodness.
Because she was doing homework.
Yeah.
And her teacher gave her bad marks saying that she used ChatGPT.
Oh yeah.
So she proved using that checker that she did not use ChatGPT.
She's
So it
just
pretty much
brilliant.
tells you,
She's like, I'm actually just brilliant, and I'm the person behind ChatGPT.
she is brilliant. My daughter is brilliant.
I built ChatGPT.
I love that.
At home.
So it actually shows it's like 90% done by
I've seen
AI
this.
or
I've
whatever.
seen this. Yeah.
And yeah, so it's so funny, people that write to you, that people that can barely speak English, all of a sudden write you those emails, those...
Max, let me give you even a better story. I've seen on listing descriptions
Oh yeah, for sure.
that people forget to delete.
Here's the summary
Like
of the
powered by
blah, blah.
ChatGPT. It's still on there, and I'm like, oh my God.
the professionalism, eh?
Yeah. It's funny because I was writing stories about listings way before chat was like even.
But
a
when are we
thing.
going to get rid of those agents? Like, come on.
It naturally just, don't worry, they get disposed of naturally.
It just...
So the ChatGPT talk, you can get rid of it now also. In Claude, there are skills in Claude, and there is a skill that basically Claude will write something that it will check for AI writing and rewrite it so that it doesn't sound like... You can do crazy stuff now.
Or you can just give it a prompt to say to sound human and not to sound like a computer, and to sound like AI, and to remove all the markings that the AI has.
So this is the problem. Like if you give it a simple prompt, it does a shitty job. You have to give it like a very detailed prompt, and then you can save that as a skill so that in the future you don't have to type that out every time. And then you just say, do this, and it does the same.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still, to be honest with you, it's big on me. I don't really understand it. I don't really know how to use it. That's why, unfortunately, I have to pay someone. But I do find...
It's kind of better, though.
And I don't know. I wouldn't say you, but I find that the difference between real estate agents and OG real estate agents and the new real estate agents that are going to come up now, that the new real estate agents will come in with an army of those AI bots and AI, and how do you fight that? And by the way, that's a question to you, because I have the same issue with my
you know, what I'll say is, I just think like everything else, there will be a cohort of people who gravitate towards those people and want to work with those people, and maybe they're more of a match. But then there will still be a cohort of people who just want a different type of agent that isn't
100%
so deep into that. Right? Like, I think
isn't robotic and actually human and actually
I think it's actually kind of strange how heavily it's relied on now for every single answer or every single situation. And I don't necessarily think that's healthy or desired by the public, who's, at the end of the day, they're looking for an agent who's emotional with them, who can, or like help them stay grounded and help them pivot and help them overcome obstacles. Like, you can't be typing every single thing into a search box to get an answer all the time, right? So I think, again, like, use it where it's needed, but it's not, I mean, when you have it for the right way and you're armed, then I think it can only benefit you and like propel your business, obviously, right? But then
let me challenge you on that for a second. And I'm not going to speak about your industry. I'm going to speak about mine, because I have the same problem. I don't want you to think that I'm challenging
I like
you
this. I like this. It's evolution at the end of the day. We got to, I get it.
So I was sitting, again, before I hired this AI manager, I was sitting there and thinking, I'm a great, knowledgeable consultant. I know probably more than 90% of my field out there because of my experience in construction, in design, in architecture, in engineering, and having Acadia as a one big company doing design and build. But can I compete with that fella that just finished school, came out of school, while I need an architectural technologist to draw the drawings with knowledge, an assistant to help me out, an office manager, a receptionist, which I would never, by the way, switch or change, because I think human touch, I agree with you 100%, needs to be in every company and will always need to be there. But all that team, when I could be this one person with an army of agents, you want zoning, you got it. You want building code, you got an agent called building code. You want, you need a solution when it comes to this and that case. I have a bot that can research the whole internet.
Fair.
The whole internet in 5 seconds, tell you about case like that passed already before in the city of Toronto. You can't compete with that.
That's fair. But I also think, again, so pros and cons to every situation, because how many years experience do you have under your belt?
20 years.
20 years. You have 20 years of, I imagine, constant repeat referral business. People who know you, love you, trust you, will use you till the end of time, will refer you to the end of time, right?
Agreed. But
so,
there's a but. There's a very important but.
Okay.
With all that, my experience cost an X amount of money. And this kiddo, with, let's say, 3/4 of my experience, beside having my personal experience, will cost you 1/4 of the cost.
That's fine. I also think it builds your character in a different way when you have to work the way you worked. Builds your discipline in a different way. Like, I think there's qualities you have that they may not have that make you a different type of professional as well. So I think like there's two sides, right?
But I'll agree with you on that from the other perspective, because again, I had a situation 2 days ago where one of those kids that are working for me met with a client, and luckily I was in the office. And they were talking about, and the client is telling him, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that. And the kid is like, oh, you can't do this. You can't do that. For that, you're going to need to go to the committee of adjustment and wait for a year. Whoa. Like, dude, take it easy. He's not going to need to wait for a year. And I kind of broke the process. And I realized that you need this mediator in between this upcoming computer and this human. And I was this guy that mediated everything.
Yeah, like, you're like a grounding. To me.
And he works like an AI. He created a house. Like the guy wanted 3 suites for his kids on the second floor. 3 suites. So he wanted each suite to have a bathroom and a closet and a suite on the first floor. All of a sudden I see a drawing. Honestly, like AI gave it to me. Room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4, room 5, room 6, room 7, room 8, room 9, room 10, room 11, room 12. He's like, you can't have 12 rooms in the house. And he's telling that to the client. Now the client is already frustrated because you didn't understand what I wanted. And I'm like, well, first of all, you can. Okay, you can. There's nothing in the building code tells you how many bedrooms you need to have in a house. Second of all, that's not what he was asking. So let's talk about that. And if you don't mediate that, I guess that's where you're coming from.
This is what I mean. It's like you can't build that. The ability to be empathetic, understanding,
comprehension,
to be able to help like solve problems, get through obstacles. That comes with just doing things the old school way.
I think you guys are very lucky and you don't realize it.
I know I'm very lucky. I thank God daily that in the first few years of my business, I struggled. It was not easy. It was not handed to me. I did not have family members in this business that I was like, oh, perfect. I can learn from them. I can, you know what I mean? Like it was not easy. And I'm so grateful that I had that, because now, like people who got into this business during COVID, it was so easy to make money. It was like you're putting a sign on the lawn, your property sold within 10 seconds. Yeah. You had to do nothing. You needed no skill. They're done. So I think
They will be purged now.
I think there's pros and cons to every situation. And I think we have to just be grateful that we were working in a time that wasn't so prevalent, and we bring different experience because of that people really appreciate and love.
But also, you guys are very lucky with timing. Like a guy shopping for a Ferrari does not need a Honda Civic.
That's true.
That's not a thing.
100%. I love that.
And the reason you guys are lucky is because you've been in the game longer now, and this would be a huge concern for a person who's just starting out. Because if you're just starting a company and you don't get into the AI game, you are going to be screwed because the competition who's starting at the same time will get ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're already ahead, so like it's a different thing. You don't have to worry about it.
You know what? I'll tell you something. 20 years ago, I was the competition, and there were architects before we got even into building everything. There were established architects out there. I became very good and very profitable fairly quickly due to the fact that I was the first one who started using Google. Because they were all word of mouth, and they all were established, and they didn't need that, and they disappeared. So now I'm still using Google, while the new ones, my competition that comes in, will use army of bots. And trust me, they will take over in 5 minutes.
Advertising is a different game.
All you need really, you need good common sense, good networking skills, and communication skills. And you should be able to mediate between the bots, the army of bots of the municipality to the client. If you can do that and you have all the tools,
but the things you just said are very rare.
I think I was very rare when I started.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was very rare. You were very rare when you started.
Yeah.
But there are there. And eventually this is your competition. So if I will rely, and that's what I'm thinking, if I will rely on that factor, because again, if you're asking what my job is, I'm pretty much the translation between building code and the client.
Yeah.
Right? Zoning bylaws and the client. So if somebody else can do it as well, without the need of a team, without the need of all this help, they will be able to be much more competitive in this market. And our market, let's be real, is not the shiniest and the richest market right now. By the way, I just heard today that Canada apparently is number 50 when it comes to economical evolution out of whatever amount of countries. Number 50.
Yeah. Like
number 50.
300 countries or something.
300 altogether in the world maybe. I'm talking about number 50 in the first world countries.
Killing it.
So again, not talking about that, but what I'm saying is but what I'm saying is we gotta really look into it, and you cannot come, let's use your metaphor, you cannot sell a house to somebody who drives on a Honda Civic driving a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Because they do ask you, well, how were you able to afford that Ferrari? Maybe you're not for me at this point. Before, it would be the opposite. It's like, oh, you're probably so good, that's why you can afford a Ferrari. Now it's the other way around. If you can afford a Ferrari, I don't want to hire you because I'm willing to get somebody, let's say.
I don't think that's the case. Let's take real estate for an example.
Okay.
I would imagine that actually the top realtors charge higher percentage and sell more expensive homes. Why is that?
True.
Like why?
Because they have a different clientele.
Because their clientele is not so worried about that. They want the best. They go shopping on Amazon. They sort by high to low.
I agree with you. Not the market and the 1% is two different things. You can't compare the whole market to the 1% of
it depends
of
on
successful.
What you want to be, right?
There always will be 1% that leaves great lifestyle, but then there is a market around it. You want to compare yourself to the market.
I will say though, at the end of the day, like in all this conversation, I keep kind of hearing in my own mind, you know, when I got into real estate, it was like, this is such a competitive field. It's competitive. There's so much competition. There's so much competition. And I know now there's like 75,000 plus agents that I'm competing with. Honestly, I don't even think about that.
You do what you do best.
I'm very much like, I know that I'm my only competition and I'm the biggest obstacle. I'm also the biggest solution in my life. And to be honest, I see other realtors as allies. Like I collaborate so much with everybody. I'm the first person to answer any questions you need. I'm the first person to train, give my presentations, take what I do, like do it. You know, to me, it's like, that's the way to just being a better professional and actually being busier and helping more people. And so I don't know, to me, that's like, I'm not too worried about what everyone's doing.
Yeah, so
other than, like for sure trying to get better all the time. Yes, but that's it.
So those are two different industries. In my case, I have to be ahead in order not to lose business. And I agree that we know what we know and we're better.
Yeah, but I think the same goes for us. It's not, you do have to be ahead. You do have to know better. Like that is all very true.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of...
You always got to keep evolving. In our case right now, the question is introducing AI.
Yeah.
It's just that
it's everywhere. It's everywhere, yeah.
I'm not as tech savvy as those.
Yeah, but you're taking the steps because you outsource, you figure it out, right? Like you're inputting it where you need it. And
but you see, I'm doing it not in order to minimize my team. I'm doing it in order to make my team a super team.
Yes.
Have super
the knowledge, the efficiency, of course.
Can I share a cool story related to this? So you guys know how, back 30 years ago, I don't know, like the chess players were all, human. And then eventually they had a computer beat Garry Kasparov.
Yes.
And then eventually he was able to beat the computer again. So they did research on how is it that the computer was better and then he got better. And what they found is that their basic chess is split into two things. There are strategies, which is seeing the big game. And there are tactics, which is seeing what are the best couple of moves.
The next solution.
So the computer is way better than humans at tactics. Seeing the next couple of moves, it can calculate so many moves you can comprehend it.
Right.
But human beings are way better at seeing the strategy. And I think AI is going to be exactly the same thing. AI might be better at these couple of things, but a human being is going to see the whole picture.
This is brilliant.
That's your job. So
this is such a good analogy, and thank you for sharing that. That's brilliant.
I hope you're right, because I'm looking ahead and it makes me feel much, much better. But
let me use your own quote. I was just said it in Eddie's podcast, right?
Yeah.
And you said it in the podcast because he asked you about education when you were teaching, and you said theory is very 2D and experience is 3D.
Yeah.
So no matter, like, you can't beat that. That 20 years of experience, how are you going to make up for that? There's things you're going to learn through pain.
100%.
For example, how to be good at understanding, going back, I'm just trying to close the circle.
Yeah.
How being good at reading zoning bylaws. Now I'm getting an agent, a bot. I'm just going to share it with you.
You're sharing it with everyone now.
That will do it for me.
True.
Does it make sense? So you see what I'm saying? But if I'm not going to have this bot, I'm going to be behind. Because if I'm going to have my developers that work with me, that do subdivisions, and they're going to call me, oh, Max, we need the zoning bylaw. And I'm going to tell them, you know what? I'm just driving. I'll check it out later. I'll let you know. They will find this fella who came from a college and can do it for them. The difference is that after that, this developer will ask them, oh, you know what? You did it so fast. Can you do the drawings for me?
Love that.
Of course I can do the drawings for you. Okay, how long is it going to take? And that can be much, much faster because they don't have the noise and the distraction that an established company has.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's not, I don't want to get into it. Why is it going to be worse than what maybe we would propose and would save tons of money to the developer and to the client? But the fact that you could lose that developer And as you said, by the way, people on that level, developers, bigger developers, they wouldn't go for a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
That's why you would lose them.
Sure.
Because they would want somebody that will do it like this.
Makes sense.
So it really depends. In your case, a little bit different. I agree.
Yeah, maybe a little different. I mean, listen, I think within reason, I know I have to be fast sometimes. I definitely understand that. But I also think if I have someone who's super demanding and expects me to like drop everything all the time, and that's the kind of person I'm working with, we may just not be a match, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you literally cannot help everybody, and that's
also true.
You know, it's
You gotta
okay.
know yourself. Like
For the most part, I mean, I have incredible clients, like really, really good clients, and yeah, I don't take that for granted. I think it's like who I attract, and they're a reflection of how I am as well. So it's great, right?
yeah,
So,
for sure.
like
You
it's
wouldn't be able to connect with them otherwise, right?
right. Yeah.
It doesn't. Because some agents, I'm sure, are also like super fast, like
Yeah.
10 coffees a day, and whatever.
Yeah, you see, I guess everybody, I agree with you 100%. Everybody looking at what they, in their agent, because we're talking real estate, what they are. And that's why my expectations, because I agree with you. You kind of, it was a knockout towards me when you said that, because you're absolutely correct. Not everybody has to be your client.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, unfortunately, my brain doesn't think this way.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
No.
Well, listen, it keeps you like motivated. It keeps you.
No, because I agree with you. You can't run after, I mean,
Well,
not run, but I mean, you can't, you can't have everybody as your clients. But I guess what I was trying to say is sometimes I also myself look for the answers as fast as possible. You know, when you got for an example, an opportunity or something like that. Well, not anymore, because now everything is a little bit slower, as we discussed.
Yeah.
But specifically during COVID and all that, like,
Yeah,
oh,
for
he's
sure.
gonna go away.
You're operating at like crazy speeds.
So you know what? Interesting. Then, how did you operate during COVID? Because
crazy enough,
you had to adapt.
I did adapt, and at that time, at those few years that it was like insane, I did have some listings, but I was heavier on the buyer side of things, like heavy.
Wow.
So it was like rough. Like I remember there was one couple that I was working with. If they watch this, they'll know who they are. We lost like 11 homes before they got their home.
Holy shit.
We just kept losing in these multiple offers. It was just rough. So, you know, again, perception is reality, right? Like at that time, I wasn't like selling all these homes in 2 seconds. It wasn't that kind of market for me. It was like I was working with buyers, and it was a hustle. Like it was a grind, and it was tough, but you know, I still made it through. Still made it.
It reminds me of, my father-in-law, when I met them, they were living, when I met my in-laws, they were living in their place already.
Yeah.
But I heard the story how they were getting their place there, and it took them 2.5 years to find a place. So I remember asking him, "Did your real estate retire with you when she got
right?
you that place?" 2.5,
That's
and they
so
looked
funny.
at probably like, I don't know, like 40, 50 properties and all that, and he didn't like something in each property. So it was so funny,
I get it. I've been there too. I'm not gonna lie, right?
Sounds like something I would do.
But then you get better, and you just know how to guide people differently after some time,
like
right?
sometimes you have that client, you're telling them it's going to cost a little bit, you got to put a little bit more. No. This is the price, and we're going to lock on it, and eventually we're going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually, but the amount of work that you put into it, maybe eventually the listing doesn't make sense anymore.
Right. 100%.
Is it helpful if the client knows like very clearly what they want? Like very clearly, like to the details of like
yes and no, because
I want, whatever.
It can be
Very close-minded.
But then if there's like no room for movement, then it's also like, what if there's so many things that are passing you by that you could be so happy?
Yeah.
And you're just fixated, right? So it just depends. But yeah, I think really at the end of the day, what makes it easier is like you just have a clear goal and you're motivated and you're just like, okay, let's do this, right?
Yeah, it's funny because you got to have a lot of leniency. With the years, I learned it's just you can't come close-minded because you never gonna find this exact
especially
property
if
you're
it's
looking
like
for.
features, you know what I mean? Because obviously, if there's a specific location and you can't change
Oh, yeah,
lot,
sure.
you can't
Yeah,
change location. Of course, there's fixed things that aren't changeable. But if you were gung ho on like a bungalow, but then you find this amazing 2-story, or you know what I mean? Like just little things.
Yeah, as I said it, I was thinking
Maybe
in my
that's
head,
not a
there are
great
certain things that
comparison,
can be
but
changed and
yeah.
certain things that cannot. So, for example, if I came to you and I said, I want a big tree and I want a sunroom, right? Okay, a sunroom can be built,
Right.
potentially.
Right.
A tree cannot be grown.
Sure.
Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So the tree is a non-negotiable maybe for somebody because you can't, if they want a tree, they want a tree. Like that's it.
It's funny. I designed a house once with a tree in the middle, like a full-grown tree.
That's like a dream of mine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the middle.
That's crazy. I've been to a restaurant like that. So how was it?
A very, very fancy house?
Sorry?
Fancy house?
I mean, yeah. Custom house.
God, I want to see
like
this.
a huge bungalow with the tree pretty much in the middle of it. But it's like, in order to keep the tree, it cost extra almost $200,000.
Wow.
To rebuild everything around to make sure that it stays.
But how cool is that now?
Exactly.
Haven't been there for the past
that sounds
7 years.
We should go together. I'd love to see this creation.
All full of glass
oh my God, beautiful.
But if you can afford it, like, and you want your dream house, like you do the thing. Like,
imagine you're stressed. You just touch your tree house and you're good.
Exactly. You climb up to the, you sit and look at the neighbors.
I just want to say though, just going back to kind of what we were discussing is like, markets shift, whatever, right? But I feel like how we are, like the standard is the standard. Like I'm not going to chintz out on staging or photography or marketing just because it's easy to sell something, right? And I feel like you bring that and people value and appreciate that, right? So I think that's just something to remember for all agents out there. It doesn't matter if it's easy or hard.
But it's also very sad because I remember like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you would go and you would see an empty house and you could imagine I can put this here, I can do that, I can, sky's the limit. You can actually imagine yourself in this place.
Right.
Now it's like you come into every property and you would see this small table with 2 chairs because the room is so tiny, you want it to look bigger.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's the imagination? Where's
it's gone.
It's all gone.
It's
all gone.
It's gone.
You pretty much you're so lazy to even think for yourself. You need the real estate to do it on your behalf.
I cannot relate to that.
I honestly think it's just, it even has to do with people just have too much going on. We're just so overwhelmed and we're so overstimulated. It's like, it needs to just be easy.
Yeah, it's what we were talking about. They have too many options.
Like they want the full service now.
It needs to be easy. And look, I get it. And it's like, we have to just deliver.
It's just, I remember that real estate, it was a person who has an office, who has their car. That's the second office. And they drive around, they show, they close these deals and everything. Now a real estate is somebody who has an office. They have a warehouse. They would have tons of chairs, tables and everything that they buy for staging.
That's a realtor's rent.
So the next step, real estate will be the builder?
That's another thing you outsource, right? Like, I mean, when you're starting out, maybe you have your own inventory because maybe you can't afford staging and you just kind of fluff things up and do it your way. But, as like for me, I hire stagers for that. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
So see, I've been to that.
First of all, my little sports car doesn't fit much. It's like my trunk is full of.
What's the agency? TNF, TFN, whatever. I've been to this agency.
Okay.
I was given a speech about zoning bylaws because real estate really interested about all that. And we pretty much had to walk through a warehouse, and I'm looking at it. The warehouse was huge, probably like 25 to 3,000 square foot worth of.
Like a Costco.
15-foot ceilings with rags.
Yeah.
And you see tables.
It belongs to brokerage?
Sorry? Yeah, brokerage. Wow. They had a full warehouse full of furniture. And I was like,
furniture is expensive?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though, right? And especially now with
And tchotchkes, accessories and all
like,
that.
you know, it's conversations to have with clients and sellers because we also, the way staging works is like you pay an upfront fee for the service and then there's a renewal fee like every month really, right?
Yeah,
So
because you rent
it's like a
it,
subscription until you sell.
Correct.
Yeah, you rent it, yes, you
Oh,
rent
wow.
it.
So, you know, it's a lot to think about in terms of investment into listings and properties
It's
and things
another
like
industry that real estate
Yeah.
pretty much created.
So I wanted to
Yeah.
ask the other like also levels to these staging companies because you know there's a big difference in like
that. Yeah.
there's furniture here
Yeah.
and furniture here.
Typically how it works is they'll go and do a consultation and evaluate the house and just see if it's like
I see.
a super high-end luxurious house versus, I don't know, a 600 square foot condo. You're obviously going to need different things and it's, you know.
So I cannot put IKEA in a $10 million house, right? That's not going to work?
Probably not. Maybe,
But you know
some
what?
little decor pieces.
But you know what? It's funny. I watched an interview with Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Okay.
He's a football player.
Okay.
He shops at IKEA.
Or soccer, as people call it here.
Mm-hmm.
So he was, I don't remember which show he was on, and he was talking about the fact that he moved to the US, he moved to, I think LA or Las Vegas, whatever, or Miami, I don't remember. And they're like, oh, okay. So, and he was looking for furniture. So they're like, so great, which stores did you go? He's like, IKEA. They go, Zlatan Ibrahimovic shops in IKEA?
Love that.
He's like, yes, because I'm
Listen,
not stupid.
There's nothing wrong
I'm
with
rich, but I'm not stupid.
there's nothing wrong with
You know what I mean?
But they
incorporating.
have really good designs sometimes, actually.
There's some great pieces there.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing wrong. It's just you just got to do it right.
I find that sometimes you walk through people's house and it's like, it's not about whether it's a good piece or not, it's how much it costs.
But you know,
Which is a full stupidity, and I'm completely against that as well.
I agree.
because
See? I love American Eagle.
Yeah.
if
I
I,
could have
if I
everything
notice,
else,
you
but-
guys for sure notice. Like now that I'm a little like older, right? I can notice when I see a couch and it's expensive. You can just, I don't know, you can
Yeah,
tell
you
because
can
that's
tell.
like a unique design that you haven't seen or whatever. It just stands out
But
somehow.
you see, no, that's the thing. You can find a couch as expensive, but without a unique design.
Oh,
But
that's
then nobody would
sure,
know
yeah.
that it's expensive.
Sure.
And it has to look expensive. So that's the difference between comfort and looking expensive. Wouldn't buy a couch in
Well,
IKEA,
yes,
respectfully.
fair.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's a time and a place, right, for certain things. But and going back to your staging question, yeah, that's why you got to leave it to the experts. They know how to make a place feel
Mhm.
like it's going to be desired by many
They work
people
with
who walk
interior
in.
designers.
They work with well, a lot of them have that background, like they have that
I see.
that
Makes sense.
educational experience in design, right?
Mhm.
So that's why they're good at it.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like the same. You remember we talked about the contractor versus
Yes.
inspector. So same thing. Like every house I walk in and I see staging, I don't see things that will actually make sense. Or
It's
I
true.
would think, oh, okay, I'm going to get exactly the same kind of table.
But that's because you're like,
just to make the space sell
it's
better.
because you're thinking of it like in a very logical way.
Yeah.
Whereas when buyers are moving through the process, they are not logical, they're emotional.
True. Okay.
So they need to be able to envision like, oh my gosh, our kids are we can watch them from the kitchen. There's a line of sight
I
here.
agree.
They're in the living room, whatever. So
Not buying for personal.
So that's that's the thing. It's also, again, you're a savvy investor. There's just so many things to making your brain the way it is, right? But with your typical end user buyer, they need to feel and love.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's an experience, right?
So if they come in and there's a staging, right? They see a house they like. Can they buy the table they like? And
Honestly, we've had those conversations. Yeah.
Right?
Like there's things like some people will, sometimes it's not staging and it's like the actual seller's furniture. And we'll
I bought
ask the
ones with
question. We'll be
furniture.
like,
Oh, yeah?
are you willing to
With
sell? Are you willing to sell that table or are you willing to whatever, right? Like we'll have that convo. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a situation when a buyer wanted to take things out of the house, and I'm like, can I buy the whole thing together?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, okay, if you
I
want.
mean,
you know, it's interesting. In Europe, when they move, they take appliances. Here we don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Question. So I have this debate. I was talking about it to many people about the future of Canada that is not, might not be able to afford a lot And I find that in my circle, a lot of parents that, of course, people, whether if they can afford or not, if they can afford, get properties for the future of their kids.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Is that something that should be blessed, not from the perspective of clearly you want to sell and you want the market to sell and buy, but I mean, is it something that should parents do on behalf for the future of their kids?
I mean, I think obviously this is a question of, okay, so I'm going to speak, I'm a real estate agent. Obviously, I believe in ownership. I think it's a really important part of your journey, and not because it puts you in like some sort of elite category, but because it's part of building your own personal wealth. And I know a lot of people will say that it's not the same as it used to be because of prices and all this. But I also for now, as it stands, the only asset you can sell and not be taxed on is your personal asset, right? And not be taxed on that gain. So for me, it's like an important aspect of, if people have that dream of ownership, then I want to help them get there, obviously, right? So should parents think about this and help their kids? I guess it depends on the parent. I mean, if you want that for your child and if you think that's important as part of the upbringing, the culture, then for sure, I think it's important to plan. I think there is this big shift right now because the boomer generation, there is a lot of this wealth being passed down. So I do think we're still going to see ownership be possible for many. But do I think that's going to run out eventually? I do, unfortunately, and very sadly.
Yeah, because I guess just to clearly explain my point, because it was very broad, like for example, in the 60s, 70s, parents would have savings programs for their kids and all that, or in the 80s even. But it was never like, I need to buy a property for my kid because they're not going to be able to afford it. It was always like they will grow up, they will go to school, they will finish, they buy their own property.
Because it's just so different right now.
Right?
It's not relative at all.
Yeah. So
the income is not matching. So I get exactly what you're saying, but it's I think what we have to wrap our heads around too as a society is like, maybe your first home is not going to be that freehold, detached, really large property. And even though maybe our parents, maybe it wasn't a huge detached property or renovated, but they were able to buy that first like detached home or whatever it was, right? I just think it's like times are changing. Like maybe you don't start with that. Maybe you start with a townhome, maybe a semi, maybe a condo.
Yeah. At least something to get that
and
ticket
you work your way up
to the market.
Maybe you start with a very small investment property somewhere even that's not right in the GTA that's expensive, but maybe somewhere you just open your mind to the possibilities of how you can still start having real estate as part of your life if you want that, if that's a goal for you and if that's important to you. I think that's
because I think
the best way to answer that.
Whoever has the opportunity to do it right now would do a big favor, to the offspring, to the kids, because it's getting difficult. And just to get that ticket, that you're in the market, when you are, let's say, in your 20s, and you already have, whether it's a condominium or something, to kind of move on, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe parents or couples that do have kids or thinking about, already married, thinking about the future, maybe definitely should invest and rent it for now, maybe.
Yeah.
But definitely should invest and get these properties as fast as possible.
Yeah. And I think it's not as common to hear stories like this, but I personally have clients that are in their 20s that, they're not making crazy money. They all have like your typical entry-level job, not getting help from their parents, and had enough money saved where they could just get their first like small property. And actually two or three of them that come to mind like really easily, where they either bought a condo or they bought an investment property outside the city, literally like under 500,000, and were able to secure renters and just like have that be their first. And now like they're onto their second property, or some of them are onto more than second,
Yeah, I
third.
think that's amazing.
So it's just all a matter of if it's a priority for you. There's proof for me that it's a possibility and it can still happen. But
There's so many moving pieces to this.
Sorry?
Yeah.
So many factors to this.
Of course.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Calgary.
course.
Are you like in Yukon?
Where would be actually a good area right now that you would think would be good to invest for those kind of families? Or
I mean, right now,
the best when it comes to money wise and good area, more or less.
I think just again, I want to go back to the condo market a bit, where I know a lot of people just hate on it so much, but I feel like like everything else, it's a sector, it's fluctuating, right? It fluctuates. And so right now we're just not in a scenario where they're feeling confident. They're not feeling like the confident product. But I feel like, especially for first-time investors, condos are a safer bet in terms of securing tenants and having that extra layer of like, they've got to abide by condo bylaws. It's not as easy to trash a condo. There's just like, if it feels risky to get in and you want to start kind of like getting your toes wet, I feel like the condo market's a very good place to start. And there's an abundance of affordable,
It's a great time to do.
entry level, really good condos in many good areas.
So
So
tell me about an area and approximately prices to understand.
I mean, I think,
because I know downtown now the prices are lower.
yeah, you can get, so downtown, even where the prices are still more premium, like many condos are selling for $1,000 a foot. I would say those are larger units and like probably a little bit more, not necessarily investor savvy for like not necessarily entry level, but those are like the larger units. So for the most part, can you find condos for $800 a foot that I would say are good investments? Yes, lots.
Downtown or outside?
Not right downtown, but like very like even waterfront communities like Mimico, Long Branch.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. There's great areas, even, specific, like even in the East End, there's so many pockets where that's doable right now, where I think, will it eventually, are we going to be in a better place? Of course. Is it going to do what you need it to do and help start building your equity? Yes. So I think these are important conversations because
I definitely agree, because
you just got to be open-minded. Yeah.
People are not thinking that far ahead.
Yeah.
And also, if people would, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people now sleeping on pillows full of money because they're trying not to invest a lot. But I do think when it comes to real estate, and that's my personal opinion, you can all trust me out there. I think that's the time to look into and buy.
Yeah.
And yes, maybe it's going to go a little bit lower, but not too much. But in the next 10 years, if somebody has an opportunity to invest in the future for the kids, because imagine if you have a newborn and you're investing for the next 20, let's say 25 years, it's going to grow. It's going to grow.
You guys ever heard the saying from investment? They say, be bold when others are fearful and be fearful when others are bold.
Fortune favors the bold. That's another one, right? You hear that, right? And look, I do completely get that it's very difficult to be bold in these times when people are struggling to, like, the groceries are expensive and the day-to-day, it's expensive. So I get that. But I think, again, within reason, and that's why it's important, sit down with someone, have like a plan, see what the full picture is, what the budget is. Like, I'm never someone who wants people to feel like I got to be house poor just to make this happen. Like, no.
Yeah.
Right?
It's funny. I was telling my wife last weekend, went for groceries, and I'm like, you know what? Instead of buying gold, I think we need to buy strip loins. That's like, I'm telling you, beef is growing so fast. Like, jokes aside, like, what's going on with these groceries?
Laura,
I remember before COVID, I would buy strip loin for like $8 per pound. Now it's like 24.
You should buy a cow, I guess.
So funny enough, I do. We actually buy a full cow, which costs like $3,500, whatever. We divide it per 3-4 families.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's actually what you do. A lot of farms, they do that. First of all, it's grass fed. Second of all, it's cheaper than what you guys
And then you're
buy in the
supporting
store.
local. I love this.
You're supporting local, and
Phenomenal.
the meat is much, much tastier.
Way better.
And yeah, we do.
Now I'm wondering if there's an increase when the economy is down, if there's an increase in hunting. There must be, right?
No, I
Logical?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Interesting.
I wouldn't know.
Laura, do you keep an eye out like on the rest of Canadian market, like out of curiosity, or?
A little bit. I mean, I do learn about it. Yes. It's interesting because there are some places that are booming right now, like super hot market types east and west within
Which
Canada.
are the places?
Like I hear like Newfoundland's really hot. Like,
Wow.
yeah, there's
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. Yeah.
Just came back from there, and my friends bought a motel in there, like a bed and breakfast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, I think that's the thing is when we're analyzing markets, it is good to just understand everything because not everything functions the same, right? And so it kind of like can keep the hope alive if you get that.
Also, the houses are different. Yeah, we have a friend who's shopping in Calgary right now.
Yeah.
For $500,000, you can buy a house in Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new build.
So my friend in Nova Scotia, but then I've been to New Brunswick as well, and I stopped there, and not only that the properties are cheap, well, cheap compared to Ontario, they can find contractors there. Like this guy who I met and we were talking about again in a hotel, and we were talking about for a couple of days. He took my number because he's like, Max, when somebody needs to build something here, we bring people from Ontario.
Yeah, that's wild.
Crazy.
I'm like, seriously? He's like, yeah. Well, it all started with me asking why there is no brick construction anywhere. Like clearly it's cold.
Yeah.
Why do you have siding? He's like, because we can't find any professional that can do it.
That's crazy.
Oh, I was told
Bricklaying.
I was like,
wow,
okay.
maybe this is a migration.
That too, yes.
This is like an opportunity for migration for the builders here that it's risky to build.
Yes, they do siding because it's
crazy.
It's fast and people can do it themselves because they can't find any professional to do it for them.
Yeah.
It's just, it just happens all the time. Like more and more people flowing. If you look at statistics, literally worldwide, people flow into big cities. Like big cities just continuously more and more people get sucked into the cities constantly.
Also, it's funny because we've been all over the place, and I stopped at Halifax, and I remember the Uber driver is driving me towards the hotel, and he's like, I'm like, so how is Halifax? I've never been here. He's like, yeah, it's just like mini Toronto. We drive into Halifax. There are two buildings, probably 15 floor high. And I'm like, mini what? that may be mini Hamilton. Maybe. Mini Oshawa.
I was in Banff earlier this year. My sister got married there. It's funny because it was my second time there because I had gone with her prior to help her choose venue and stuff like that. And everyone who I spoke to that lives in Banff lived somewhere else in Canada and then moved there for like a work opportunity. And then they were like, this is...
In Banff town?
Yeah.
Wow.
Very expensive.
I know, but do you know how amazing it is and how much people love it there? It is such a... Oh, yeah. It's such a like tight-knit, amazing group of people. And we were talking to this chef of this restaurant one night and he was teaching us about like, they know stories about the wildlife. They have like bears that they know the... history of the bears, and the bears have names. And
wow.
And they know like
so they
the
know
bears have their territories. Guys, it was so cool.
You heard of the boss?
Yes. And split lip.
What?
Yes.
There's a bear. His name is the boss.
He's basically impregnated like every bear.
He has said like 70 or 80% of the bears
it's
are
crazy.
related to him.
It's really cool. But like relating it to what we were talking about.
He was hit by a train twice and survived 2 times.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. But relating it to what we were talking about, it's like people, they're drawn to certain areas because of culture and, experience and lifestyle. And right. And I do think Calgary is one of those places.
Well, Calgary,
as well.
I found Calgary. Banff is beautiful.
I mean, Banff is like such a different.
Canmore is the
Yeah.
next door.
Canmore's nice.
Which is also like expensive, but not crazy. Like Banff.
No, yeah.
But
Banff, you can't even like. They're not like for sale all the time in Banff.
No,
you
no.
can just like walk in and buy randomly.
No.
That's so limited that, so.
Yeah, in Calgary and Edmonton, I hear they're saturated now.
For sure.
They're kind of getting to the end of that.
Yes.
So what's next then? What's going to be the next boom when it comes to real estate?
I wish I knew that, Max, because
Halifax. Because it's a mini Toronto.
I wish I knew that, Max. But you know what? I don't know. I don't even have a prediction for that.
Gotcha.
So, you said Calgary? Actually, I said a friend of mine is shopping in Calgary. He said the reason they're cheaper now, the houses, because they overbuilt. They built more than necessary. And now the prices like came back down, actually. So, yeah, listen. Ultimately, there are only so many people who are going to live in Calgary. Let's be real. It's not Toronto.
For a couple of months, that was enough for me.
I mean, to be honest, my end game is I'm going to be somewhere in Europe eventually.
Oh yes, 100%. Yeah, on the Mediterranean.
Anywhere, I'll rotate between Italy, Spain, Portugal, Greece. I'm good with those 4 countries.
I wonder what is it like working as a realtor there.
It's very different.
Yeah,
very different.
What's the difference between realtors in Europe and here?
Well, first of all, I know they don't usually cooperate with agents. It's like agents typically will sell their own properties, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know for sure, so do not quote me on this.
We're not going to fact check.
But I've heard it's like it's more one-sided, and it also takes a lot longer for things to sell, for things to move. Things can be listed for like a year, and that's very normal.
That makes sense.
So yeah, very different. I have Italian cousins that are like, oh my God, we want to just move to Toronto and be an agent. It's so much easier. And I'm like, okay.
No, you don't.
Let's just relax.
It's a different thing. Yeah,
it's different.
I mean, here people move way more often in general compared to Europe. Also, way more people in Europe rent compared to owning.
Yes.
So it's a completely
super normal
situation.
there. Yeah.
So what's the future holds for Laura?
Honestly, I don't know, just more work, more fun. That's all I think about really is work and fun. It's just that balance of working really hard and having lots of fun while doing it. So I feel like that's just the continued
How was Banff?
mentality. Banff was amazing. I actually married my sister and her now husband. So yeah, great.
Wait, married as in you got the thing?
So what happened was they asked me to officiate their wedding.
Yeah.
And prior to asking me, they looked into it. So in Alberta, you can actually just apply to have a temporary officiant license.
Oh, cool.
Where it's completely valid and legal.
Oh, wow.
They just send you sort of this package of requirements. So I followed, like just the normal script. I did my own thing. It was actually such a beautiful experience. I said it as part of my speech, like while I was officiating. We've done an abundance of deals together, my sister and her husband. They're one of the savviest real estate couples I've worked with. And
they're also real estate.
Yeah. And they're not agents, but I mean, in terms of investors and what they've done with real estate in their lives has been pretty impressive and remarkable. And I said at the end is like, this will be one of the most important deals of my life, like by far, right? Because to know them as well as I know them, and then to be able to actually like stand up there and say things about them, about their love story, and about just like relating it to the place that we were in, because the nature there is just so like you cannot ignore it.
It's mind-blowing.
It's so in your face, right? And then relating like how you get through things as a couple, because I know things that they've been through, right? And then relating it to, things that you learn in nature with climbing mountains and just things like that. It was just amazing, right? And so the fact that they asked me was a huge honor, but I had to like really prepare for it. I was super nervous because I'm like, oh, this is like such a big deal. I'm going to be speaking in front of all their guests and whatever, right? But it went like incredibly well.
Like Louise?
They got married at the Fairmont.
Oh, nice. That's the fairy tale wedding.
It's literally, guys, I can't even. Like people were coming up to my parents and being like, we feel like we're at the prime minister's wedding. Like it was the prime minister's daughter's wedding. Like it felt like that simply just because of the atmosphere. It was just like you could just feel incredible. It was one of the best experiences ever.
I'm going there in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love. And actually now everything's thawed, so you can actually see it properly, because we were there in April and it's all frozen over. So you don't see the lakes. You don't see.
Yeah.
You don't. You
I mean, it's beautiful in some way.
It's beautiful still, but you see it in a different light. It's just different. But I need to go back in the summer, like 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
It's on my list.
Kids.
Yeah.
Taking the kids.
Amazing experience. Highly
Also
recommend.
less likely to be eaten by a bear in the summer.
Yeah, you know what? We stuck to very mainstream pathways that weren't so
Actually, April is like because they wake up from winter and they're like hungry.
Yeah. No, we heard stories from people that were like, oh yeah, we came face to face with a cougar, and I was like, oh my God, it was just wild to hear. I'm like, what do you guys? But they were telling us it's so interesting how, again, like how cities function, because I have a planning background, I just love learning about this stuff. But it's like there was too much wildlife going into the city and into the towns. They had to remove like all the fruit trees. Like they had to like do all this just to like preserve the wildlife so that it wouldn't mix with the humans and create problems, right? And it's just, they're just so respectful of that. They're just like, no, our wildlife is so important, right? And it's amazing.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Right?
It's amazing. They were here first, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't know much about wildlife. I'll let you guys talk about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just neither do I really. But it was
start
just
talking about wildlife, I'm not going to shut up for now. So, like, you know.
No, it was just what I learned while I was there. It was just really fascinating conversations, right? About just how they got to live. When you have those kinds of animals living in those close quarters, you have to learn how to make it work.
I have a friend who is a guide there, like a hiking guide.
Yeah.
I'm like, you see bears? She's like, yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah.
See, grizzly bears, it's not, you get used to it, you keep your distance and sort of. Yeah, no big deal. Yeah.
There's a guy who actually happened to be your friend.
Okay.
Who went to hunt bears.
Well, that was not successful.
Yeah. so there's a guy, no, nothing like that. He went for a bear hunt.
So not a grizzly bear, to be clear.
No. So what you do is you got to feed the bears before you actually go and you hunt.
Okay.
So you go, there are spots, right? You go there, you put food for them, you feed them, there are cameras, you see them coming and eating on daily basis and everything. To make a long story short, after 3 weeks, he went to actually hunt the bear and he fell asleep. The bear came in, ate, and left.
All that work, all that
He just fell asleep, and I'm like,
oh, that's so
brutal.
funny.
How do you sit all day staring?
After 3 weeks
you can't
of
be on the
preparation.
phone. You can do nothing, right? You have to be focused.
You gotta be
You
quiet.
just sit,
Yeah.
and you can't talk, you got to be quiet and everything. So he fell asleep
Yeah.
and missed the bear.
Oh well, next year.
Yeah.
You mean hunting?
Yeah. That's funny.
So, Laura, anything you want to tell the crowd that is watching us, something, where do they find you or how do they contact you?
Before I do that, let me just, I want to just bring up the last time I came here, I brought you guys a sweet treat from Tremari Bakery Cannoli. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
You enjoyed those?
Yes.
So
The whole office enjoyed those. What are you talking
good.
about?
I'm glad. Well, I brought you something today too.
Oh, wow.
It's a different experience though.
Oh.
I wanted to make this a surprise. So let me just see if I can casually grab here from my purse. This is my father's homemade Sopressata.
Oh, thank you.
That looks delicious.
So I don't know if you're aware. You're not aware of this.
What do you mean?
My father's homemade Sopressata is the best in the world. I can honestly say this with confidence, okay?
So is it actually
I'm gonna
homemade?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the process. So this is a tradition that, it's very big in Italian culture. I know you guys have your big free lunch today, your big office lunch, and it's
I ate nothing today. So
oh good. So you can break your fast. Yeah. So basically it's essentially like dried sausage, okay? But it's
homemade,
made,
right?
So what he does, you buy a pork shoulder and you season it, you grind it up, you season it. And then the curing process is really like where the magic happens, because it's a very like specific temperature controlled and all this, right? The environment has to be like perfect for it to come out right. So my father is like he's the pro. And you can ask the Avis crew. They've had much of this Sopressata they're like, this is
I literally imagined Italy while you were talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like, hanging in the sun. And
I have pictures. I have pictures of my dad with his Sopressata hanging in the cantina. Like it's
funny.
It's such a like
basement. Probably you got a lot of it hanging.
Yeah. It's like anyone who has it is like, this is the best I've ever had.
He's been doing this for like a long time.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's been doing it forever, every year.
And how long does it take for it to be ready?
So you have to make it in February. That's the season. Mm-hmm. And then usually by, I want to say like just before summer, it's ready. The first like round of it.
I always wanted to learn to do something.
He takes, it's quite a skill and process. Like he takes pride in it, and I can't even explain, like to even pass it on to someone is hard, because he just like does it by hand, by eye. There's no really, it's by feeling, right?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the beauty of it and the skill really is in like maintaining and cleaning it every day, and just like making sure it's like the right temperature and all this, and just understanding all those little nuances. So
yeah, I remember it's funny, I will never forget how we used to do jobs for the Italian community, and we'd come in, and every time, the older person would, especially after the retirement, they would make bologna and or whatever. Yeah. And you go into the basement, it's like, Max, come with me. Yeah. While the crew is working, I would go there and I would try, and it's always the best meat. So
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we'll definitely try it. Thank you very much.
You know what the Russian version of this is?
What is it?
Russian version?
Why
do Russian always gotta take?
Come to the basement. I'll show you what to make. Then they'll open the door, and there's going to be a storage of alcohol in there.
Oh, wow.
Vodka. Vodka, not alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcohol is for normal people. Yeah. Vodka.
It's vodka.
Oh my God.
My least favorite spirit. But you know what? If it's coming from you, I'll have some.
So did you learn how to do that?
I don't know that I could do it the way my father does it, but I could definitely try. I could try my best to keep it going, because it's a very special part of my upbringing.
So you can go to ChatGPT and be like, how do I make this?
Exactly, right?
No.
I'm more of like, when we're planning the weekend that we're doing it, I'm more of like, I go and help my mom, prepare lunch, clean up, and all this, right?
I'll tell you what, those products have one ingredient that nobody would have, and it's a lot of heart and a lot of dedication.
100.
And it's a different story.
It's really true. It's like, when you have you eat your salad that you make, or whatever, you eat your meal that you make, and then someone else makes you the same thing, and you're like, how is this? It's funny, because I had girlfriends come over for dinner once, and I made something, and then they were like, you need to give us the proportions. And I was like, okay. So I tried my best to and then they're like, Laura, it just doesn't taste the same as when you made it. And I'm like, but that's because it's just my energy's in there.
Yeah,
that's what it is, right?
There's
and that's even me. Like when I eat other people's cooking, it's like, this is incredible, right? And it's you're feeling the effort, you're tasting the love.
My brother comes in all the time whenever, not only my brother, but when everybody comes for dinner in my house, I make my steaks.
Yeah.
And I happen to make pretty good steak.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, how do you make it? I'm like, no, nothing special. I just, but how much salt do you put? How much pepper? How much is that? I'm like, I don't know. I just, whatever I feel.
They're just,
and you make
the vibe.
steak.
It's Max vibes.
Yeah. Yep.
I get that, yeah.
It's funny because my kids always say, Dad, your steak is better than when we go to Chops.
Oh, yeah.
And now Chops for us, there's something, they don't like any steakhouse beside Chops, beside the Chop.
Highway 7?
And yeah.
Chop is good. Chop is good.
Yeah.
You know what? Chop is the only place that I know of now. There used to be one called, oh my God, I forget. They closed during COVID. They were amazing. But Chop is the only place where I can find, I don't know if you know what Chicago style is.
Oh, yeah.
When they sear the steak. So Chop is the only one that makes it Chicago style. They're actually amazing.
I do like chop steak. I do.
Yeah. And before there was a steakhouse, I forget what it's called. Maybe you would know. Next to Von Mills, where
I don't think I know
the furniture stores the small plaza right besides
I don't
it.
think I know
You wouldn't
this.
know that part.
I know the Toronto ones a lot more than the Vaughan.
Yeah,
Canyon Creek.
Barbarians.
Oh, Canyon Creek, yeah.
Canyon Creek. That's what it was.
But aren't they known more? Oh no, that's not ribs. I'm thinking of Baton Rouge.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they had good
No,
ribs as
Canyon
well,
Creek. I've
but
been to Canyon
we
Creek.
went there pretty much every single week for steaks.
Wow.
For steaks. And they
Nice.
closed, unfortunately, during COVID.
There's some crazy steakhouse downtown, actually.
There's a lot of good places.
What is
for
it called? Jacob's.
steak. Yeah, Jacobs.
That they have
There's
like
Harbor-
Kobe,
there's
they have
Harbor
like Kobe
60.
beef and stuff like that.
There's a lot of good steakhouses.
Barbarians.
Pies.
Yeah.
So see, when it comes to downtown or midtown, I don't go to those big houses. I go to those. There are a lot of. I wish I remember the name, but family restaurants, family-owned restaurants. And there's this restaurant, which I forgot what's the name. I wish I remembered, but the lady is Portuguese. The husband is Japanese. He's a chef. She's pretty much the manager of the restaurant. They have the best food ever. And I forgot what.
Oh my God, you need
Not that I forgot. I never
need to find
I never
out and
cared
tell us.
enough to remember what it is.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I'll
you need to find that and tell us.
Toronto, actually, as far as restaurants goes, is
Tons.
unreal.
I don't like the big restaurants.
No, not the chains.
No,
Toronto
no.
has a lot of really good.
We have a
restaurants.
great food scene. That's
Yeah,
one thing
amazing,
I'll say.
actually. Yeah.
I still do go to restaurants, not as much as I used to,
Mm.
but I used to go a lot. And I would like, people would ask me like, oh, have you heard of this place? I'm like, yep, been there. Cause I love that. I feel like I'm a big foodie, right? So I love it. But
I'd probably, if I didn't care about the budget.
yeah,
I would
exactly.
go
That's the
out
thing. You
literally
gotta
every meal
scale
in the
back
day,
now,
probably.
right? It's like, holy,
Yeah.
you can't go out for less than like $300 or something, right? It's
Yeah, if you go to a steakhouse, that becomes
that's
a whole other thing.
I enjoy my mortgage a lot now,
That's true.
right? I enjoy my mortgage a lot and I love it. I'm happy.
Yeah, true. I wanted to say something about the housing before, like when we were talking.
Sure.
What was it? Well, anyway, I wanted to say, like in the beginning when we started talking about it, that like when it skyrocketed during COVID, I mean, it's a natural correction now, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you look at it as like a line like this, 7% or whatever, and then it went like this, naturally it's gonna correct.
You know what I mean? It's like because we hadn't seen a boom that big, really, right?
Yeah.
So
That's crazy, right?
So you're right. It's like everything. It's like the relativity is there, right?
Yeah, the historic like return on real estate is something like 4%.
Yep.
Something over like 100 years.
Yep.
So makes sense.
It does.
You know what I mean?
We have to correct now, or else
We get used to crazy things in
it
Canada,
was.
so-
And that's the hardest part people have, I think, comprehending now when you're having conversations about value.
Mhm.
But you know, the numbers don't lie. You just got to show people.
Yeah, true.
You just got to show people and educate people, and they eventually get it. So.
So
So back to this restaurant situation.
Oh, yeah. Did you find
the
it?
The name is Maison Tea.
Oh, I haven't
Maison
been
Tea.
there.
Everybody, you haven't
I
been there?
have not been there.
Everybody have to try
Okay.
that restaurant. Seafood is amazing. Food is amazing. Anyways, everything is amazing. Everything
Okay,
they
good
make.
to
And
know.
the desserts. And the chef is so proud. But anyways, we already left that
Yeah, that's okay. No,
that conversation.
that's
But
okay.
anyways,
Yeah,
Laura,
I'm-
thank you very much for that.
you're welcome. I'm
is
grateful to be
definitely
here
gonna be-
again. I'm just so happy you guys asked me. I always love.
It's awesome having
I
you
always
with us.
love being with you. You're the best energy.
looks
You're
different now.
great. You're great company.
Thank you.
And yeah, you asked how people can reach me. Easiest way. I'm accessible, you know, by phone, by email, by whatever. But Urban Laura Costa is my handle on Instagram. I'm very easy to get a hold of there.
Awesome. Thank you very much for being with us. Guys, so I hope you watched and enjoyed. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So if you like this episode, like, subscribe, and stay with us for the next one. Laura, thank you for being with us again.
Pleasure. Thank you.
And until next time, back to work.